Hello everyone, and here is our final list of terms from the vocabulary from Romanticism. The list will go from resignation to wit. Okay, here is our first bunch of words, and you probably recognize the word resign here. You know what it means to resign, but to experience a sensation of resignation, which is a noun, means a giving up. It could be as in a position. He offered his resignation. Or you could just be feeling resignation, which basically means you've given up in another sense. You are defeated. Or I should say, as a noun, a sense of defeat. That might be better. Roseate is rose-colored, easy enough to remember. A roseate viewpoint of the world is one that is optimistic and rose-colored. If you need to practice the rudiments of that skill, then you need to practice the element or first principle of, the fundamental of. It's the beginning of something. The rudiments or rudimentary knowledge is the beginning knowledge. The foundation, the fundamentals. If you're going to sanction someone's decision, that means you're going to approve of it. Sanction is approval given to something. We sanctioned his decision to go forward. You might know what a scimitar is if you remember Disney's Aladdin and you picture that curved sort of sword, that curved kind of oriental sword that you may see held by certain characters. That's a scimitar. And seraphim we should remember from our poem, The Raven. The angels, the seraphim, or even if we remember Annabelle Lee, right? A seraphim is an angel, or angels. To smite someone is to strike or hit them, as Mrs. Walker does to Tom Walker. A specter is another word for a ghost or a phantom, an apparition. And to speculate on something is to guess. Tom Walker becomes rich because it's a time of speculation, a time when people are buying in expectation of prices rising or falling. Speculation. That's what traders do all the time. Traders, traders. Okay, our next bunch, actually a couple of them are coming from The Devil and Tom Walker. The trees were emblems of sterility, emblems of having no life. Kind of a reflection of Tom and his wife, spiritless. And there may have been on his property a few straggling savin trees, a few scattered or dispersed trees. They're straying from the main body. If you're feeling squeamish, especially at the part with the narrator using the rats to get himself freed from the pendulum, that means you're easily nauseated, easily sickened, feeling squeamish when the rats are crawling all over him. The narrator in The Raven is looking for surcease to his sorrow. And from his book, Surcease from Sorrow, that's what he was seeking. Surcease is a cessation, a stopping of something. It probably wasn't easy to surmise or to infer or to conclude that Montresor was not a reliable narrator. The devil is described in The Devil and Tom Walker as being swarthy, dark-complexioned, begrimed with soot. Tom Walker's wife is a termagant. She is a shrew. She is an overbearing woman. And if someone is arguing over tracts of land, they're arguing over a region. Or if we're studying certain tracts, we could be studying certain essays. Or I shouldn't say regions or essays, tracts. Synonym for treacherous would be dangerous or perilous. Most people thought that the site of the Indian fort was treacherous, but not. He really wasn't afraid of anything, probably having been married to the woman that he was married to for so long. Okay, I'm sorry these are out of alphabetical order, but anything that is sublime is inspiring awe. Something that you would look at and just feel overwhelmed. In the Cask of Amontillado, sub means beneath, terra means earth, so the catacombs are subterranean. They are underground. At one point, Fortunato does these sort of undulations, these sort of haphazard arm movements, these haphazard waving motions. And he's doing that because he's trying to figure out if Montresor is one of the Masons, but of course he pulls out the trowel with a totally different meaning. Tom is a usurer. It is a person or money, usury is money lending with interest. And he gets very wealthy doing so. At one point, Montresor, in the beginning of the story, appeals to Fortunato's vainglory, his extreme pride and boastfulness. Vitality and vivacity are pretty much the same thing. Liveliness, spirited, full of life. There's so much vitality or vivacity in that person. And then finally, if you do something from your own volition, it is an act of will. It's your own will if you do it of your own volition. The moon can wax and wane. To wax is to increase or to grow. And if he doesn't have one whit of sense, he doesn't have the least amount or particle of sense. And finally, we are done with our terms from Romanticism.